Hello, good afternoon students. Today we will see the CPLD architecture, feature and specification applications. In the earlier lecture, I explained you a simple PLD, that is 22V10. In 22V10, there was 22 inputs and 10 outputs, and the macro cell has a capabilities either to give a registered output or a combinational output. Now we will see the CPLD. CPLD stands for Complex Programmable Logic Devices. And now today we are going to see the CPLD from the Xilinx family. And the CPLD which we have chosen for this is XC95 series. Actually it is XC95XX series CPLD. Okay, here the first slide shows some features of 9500 series. It has a high performance, large density, 5 volt in system programmable, endurance of 10,000 program and erase cycles, enhanced pin locking architecture, flexible 36V18 function block. Now here this is the thing, that is a flexible 36V18 function block. The same thing you will understand that from 22V10. Here it is a flexible 36V18 architecture means what? In case of, we have seen in 22V10 there are certain product term associated with certain output, such as there is a variation that some product term are having only 10, some outputs are having 10 product terms, some have 12, and maximum count was up to 18 product terms. But now here this 36V18 is a flexible and it has a 90 product terms to drive any or all of 18 macro cells. Means this 90 product terms can drive a single macro cell, or it can be used to drive any of this 18 macro cell within a function block. Okay, there are global and product term clocks also. Output enables, set reset signals are also given, and it also supports the boundary scan, that is a JTAG architecture. There are slew rate control on individual outputs also, the programmable ground pin capability. These two are related to the IO block of CPLD. Okay, like that high drive, that is a 24 milliampere output current is also available, and 3.3 volt or 5 volt IO capability is also given. It uses fast flash technology and supports a programming of multiple 95 series devices. Okay, now we will see the architecture of CPLD. If you look carefully towards the block diagram of or architecture of 95XX series, you will come to know that there are at the top you will find JTAG controller and in-system programming controller. These two things are related to the in-system programmable or a boundary scan architecture related things, and it is being connected to the JTAG port. Okay, this has to do with the boundary scan. The remaining thing is a basic architecture of a CPLD family, and it contains only three things. Which three things are over there? That is IO block, fast connect switch matrix, and a function block. Means anybody ask you the components, or you may say the different blocks which are available in 95 series architecture, the three blocks are over there. That is a IO block, a fast connect switch matrix, and a function block. Now here also you should take care of one thing, that fast connect switch matrix has an input from IO block. It has inputs from the function block also. Okay, and it giving the output, that is a 36 inputs are going towards the, actually these are the output of fast connect switch matrix which are going towards a function block. Okay, and the function block is connected to the fast connect switch matrix as well as the IO block. Here the bottom, at the bottom place you will see that the global clocks, global set reset, and GTS. Here three global clocks are over there. Okay, and a set reset signal is also being provided in this case. Now we will see the one by one the function of each and every, or the architecture of a single blocks this, because IO, what is inside an IO block, what is inside a fast connect switch matrix, and what is inside a function block, that we will see in the detail study of an architecture. But but before going for the architecture of this thing, let us have a look on the variants which are over there in 95 series. The 95 series contains these many devices, that is a 9536, 9572, 95108, 95144, and 95216 and 95288. If you see the feature of the 95 series, you might have seen that microcell ranging from 36 to 288 and usable gate ranging from 800 to 6400. This is a feature of this 9500 family, and these are the different devices which are available in the 9500 series. Now listen, we are now talking about each and every block of the CPLD in detail. Now let us look towards a function block. Okay, now function block is internally divided in three blocks. The first block is a programmable AND array, the second block is a productum allocator, and the third block is a macrocell, MACRO. Okay, macrocell. Now here you will come to know that this function block has a 36 inputs which are coming from the fast connect switch matrix. Okay, and you can see that 18 outputs are going to the actual IO pin, and 18 outputs are going to the fast connect switch matrix. There are also 18 product term output enable which are going to the IO blocks. Here you can see that the macrocell internally has a flip-flop, that's why it has a global clock and global set reset control. Okay, this is very important. Actually this function block is a similar to 22V10. If you understand the architecture of 22V10, then you will understand it very easily. Only the difference is that earlier in case of 22V10 there was a different product term associated with a single output. Okay, and here in this 36V18 function block you have 18 outputs, and for each and every output or each and every macrocell, for every macrocell there is one output. That's why I'm saying that for every output or for every macrocell the 5 product terms are being associated, and such a 90 product terms are available with you to implement a function which can have a maximum number of 90 product terms. It doesn't mean that you can't implement less than that, because every macrocell has associated 5 product terms. Okay, and the programming will be done in the programmable AND array. Now if we see the elaborated view of this will also explain in detail. Now see the macrocell. No doubt this is a diagram of macrocell, but it contained the first and that is a AND array as well as a product term allocator also. You can see this part. If you see this part, in this part you will see that 36 is being written over here. 36 and its complement means total 72 vertical lines you will see over here. And for every macrocell there are 5 this horizontal line going to the AND gates. That's why it has been said that for every macrocell 5 product terms are being allocated to that particular macrocell. Now second thing which is more important over here, this above part which you are going to see and this below part you are going to see, it is nothing but the above macrocell and below macrocell. And the rest part which you are going to see over here, this you may call it as a macrocell. And in this macrocell the important thing which is over here is that is this 18 outputs, okay, which are going to the fast connect switch matrix, and these outputs, these 18 outputs are going to the IO block also, and this last one is a product term output enable which is also going to the IO block. The product term allocators outputs, here you can see the product term allocator outputs are product term set, then this is a product term reset, and this is a product term clock. And you will see 3 different 1, 2 and 3 these three different you may call it as a programmable muxes, and this programmable muxes will be allow you to either choose from a product term set or from global set reset. Similarly, a product term reset or global set reset. And similarly, here is also the thing is over here, that is whether you want to select a product term clock or you want to take a global clock. And global clocks are 3. That's why this mux has a 4 inputs. And here is a flip-flop, and from this flip-flop you can see you can have a you may say a combinational output, and this is a registered output which will be selected depending upon this mux. This mux is also a programmable mux. If you try to remember the diagram like this, then it is very easy to remember. Okay, now we will see the macro cell set reset. This is a macro cell, and in this macro cell how the set reset has been done, that we will see. Now if you see the thing macro cell carefully, this is the flip-flop which is over in the macro cell, and this is the mux to which I told you that there are 3 different clocks: global clock 1, global clock 2 and global clock 3, which are coming from the IO pins. The IO pins are multiplexed with the IO as well as the clock, and this is a IO as well as global set reset, and this global set reset is going to these 2 flip-flop, and this particular thing, that is a product term set, this product term clock and product term reset, these are coming from the you may say the product term allocator. Okay, now what the product term allocator is over here? The product term allocator will give you the flexibility in using the product terms for the next state or for a macro cell. You may say for a macro cell, if you are not going to use anything, then this particular OR gate, you may say this OR array, this OR array has only 5 product terms. If you are using it direct product term, okay, means you are not using more than 5 product terms. But if you want to use the product terms from the above and below macro cell, then this above and below macro cell product terms are routed to this center macro cell, and the output will be now with 15 product terms. Okay, like that the product term allocator will be used to combine the different product terms, and these product terms will be associated with a single macro cell. Okay, now try to understand the thing. Here this particular thing, that is you may call, which as a function block, is being ended. The function block contained 3 things: programmable AND array, product term allocator and macro cell. Listen carefully, I have not shown you the programmable AND array only because it is just a vertical lines and horizontal lines, and at every crossing you will have a you may say that at every crossing you will have a programmed connection, which I already explained you when I explained you the PAL. Okay, that is which are the particular thing associated with the AND gate, that programmed connection you can make. That's why this particular portion is called as a programmable AND array. Okay, that's why I have not included it over here. Now we have studied that the CPLD has 3 main blocks. The first block is CPLD has 3 main blocks. The first block is IO block, second one is fast connect switch matrix, and third one is a function block. Function block is further subdivided into 3 blocks, that is a programmable AND array, then product term allocator and the macro cell. Okay, now we will go for the next block, that is a fast connect switch matrix. Okay, now see, this is a fast connect switch matrix which is in between you may say IO block and a function block. Okay, and here you can see that the outputs, of the function block are again fed back to the, this is a fast connect switch matrix. It is a similar to, you may say, AND array, programmable AND array. Okay, these are the outputs from function block, which is going to the fast connect switch matrix, and these are the inputs from the IO lines, which are also going to the programmable switch matrix, and these connections means this programmed connection will give the inputs to the function block as shown in the first diagram over there. Okay, and the last block is the, you may say, IO block. Now IO block here you can see that this is a IO block and it is an enlarged view of the IO block. Okay, IO block, we have gone through two specifications which are being shown in the first slide. That is, the IO block is going to provide a slew rate control, as well as it will provide you a programmable device ground, okay, or programmable ground connection. Okay, so these two things are being shown over here. This is an input buffer. When the this pin is used as a input, this is an input buffer, and this is a programmable pull-up resistor. Okay, this is a pull-up resistor, and here to this output buffer, this is an output buffer, and to this output buffer, this is a slew rate control. And this particular thing which is coming from the, you may say, this is a connection which is going to the which is coming to the IO block from the macro cell, or you may say a function block. Okay, from function block it is being connected to the IO block. This is actually all about the architecture of CPLD. Okay, now how the logic is being implemented inside a CPLD, that can be clear from the figure of microcell. From the figure of microcell, this will be clear to you. Actually, whenever you want to implement anything, it will be definitely implemented in the form of sum of products, because here you will find a programmable AND array. Okay, thank you very much.